So what's up guys, it's me Brian Drake here on the Dice Tower. As many of you know, Carl and I are on the road about 150 days a year because we're illusionists, mentalists, magicians, whatever you want to call it, right? And that means there's a lot of downtime in airports. Now obviously I'm not hauling Twilight Imperium or Unfair or anything with me in the airport because A, Twilight Imperium is a 3-player game, and B, space, right? So you've heard me talk about the book bag test before, and the book bag test is great, but this week was a super busy, packed week as far as stuff we had to take with us. So weren't able to pack a whole lot of stuff. So we thought, what if we could find a small game? So we went to Target and picked up Quicks. Never played Quicks before, fun game. Not talking about Quicks today. I'm talking about one we purchased before called Iota. Now this one obviously passes the book bag test. It passes the pocket test, the pack of gum test. It's a tiny little box, right? Now we love the game Quirkle, and so naturally when we saw this, we went, oh look, it's a tiny version of Quirkle. Fits in your pocket. Is that true? Maybe, kind of, possibly, or is it not? Let's see how this one plays when we get it to the table. Talk about how this game plays, what it is it really worth putting in that tiny little box and all that stuff right now. So the game basically is set up like this. You would have the shuffled cards in the deck. Everybody gets 4 cards dealt to them. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to take this one as my last card here just to show you ease of play. You can do 2 things on your turn. You can either play 1, 2, 3, or 4 cards, or you can pass, in which you can trade in cards to the bottom of the draw stack to draw however many you traded in. Now, a couple rules. The second card isn't going to change anything because obviously it sets the tone for the 3rd and 4th card. So to be this small of a box, this is one of the most confusing placement systems I've ever played in my life. And I swear I'm not an idiot, but this makes me feel dumb every time I try it. So let's just say I play the green square here. Now, the rule is that a property, that would be color, number, or shape, has to be all the same or all different in a lot. So now we know that this cannot be a repeated shape now. They have to all be different shapes, which the other shapes would be, by the way, cross and circle. So now we know it has to be green and it has to be 1. So the only other 2 cards, I'll show you what they are, that could play here would be this cross and this circle, all green, all 1, different shapes. Now, I prepared a couple of cards here. This is the hand that I would have, so you would draw back up to 4 to show you what else could play off of this. So, for instance, coming off of here, you could play this, for instance, because this is a different numbers, different colors, different numbers, different colors, different numbers. This will play because it's all the same shape, but it's all different numbers and all different colors. This will now play down here if we wanted to. So this is, again, same shape, different numbers, different colors. But then this could play here. So now we have different shapes, different numbers. So then the only thing that could play here potentially, and it would be a really tough find, but let's see. You could do the circle, 2 red would play there because again, and this is setting up a new line here. And then we would need the circle, or the triangle, 1 red. So I'm going to find that in here and just show you how convoluted this gets. So the triangle 1 red will go here. Again, let's check this to make sure we're all good. So, yep, all the same color, different numbers, same, and again, it really doesn't matter for these because you're setting it up. But for this one here, same shape, different color, different numbers. You keep playing these out. When you score, the way you score is if you play all of your cards, you will double your points. If you finish a lot like we just did here, boom, boom, you will also double your points. And it kind of details the scoring in the back here. So after each turn, add up the face values of all the cards in the line created or extended on your turn. If a card is part of 2 lines, it's counted twice. Double the points for the entire turn for each lot completed, and double again by playing all 4 cards. So let's just say we got lucky and we played this, 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 and this in our turn. Well, then you would count 3, 7, 10, 20 because you doubled it. And this would also count you. You'd count for, let me read that one more time because I don't want to mess this rule up. After turn, add up the face values of all cards in each line either created or extended on your turn. If a card is part of 2 lines, it's counted twice. So then you would count this and then this as well because you counted here and there. Well, I just threw them all across the board, but you know what I mean. So that is how you play Iota. You will continue until the draw deck is empty and someone plays their last card. Again, I see why they talk about Mensa on this, because it's as tiny as it gets, but my gosh, it's one of the hardest games to think through as you're playing, because you go, oh yeah, well this will play here. It's fine, right? It's the same number. Oh, nope. 2 of them are the same color, 1 of them's not. You can't have it where it's partially. It has to be all different or all the same of one of the 3 properties. And they all have to work and all have to line up. So that is how you play Iota right there. So no, I did not like this game. I didn't like it at all, actually. We quit midway through. It's one of those ones where it's not even fun because you feel stupid. Now, again, some of you, I tend to think of the gaming community like a multiverse theory in a DC Comics, right? For every single game that I hate, there's someone out there that this is their favorite game that they love, and they're going to show up through some warped time, space, speed force sort of continuum to tell me how wrong I am. And usually that looks like the YouTube comments down below about, Bryan, you're wrong, you're stupid, you talk too fast, all that sort of stuff. Some of those things may be true, but if you don't like a certain game and I love it, well, we just disagree. It doesn't mean I'm stupid or you're stupid. It just means we disagree on taste, right? This one is one that I can see the potential for. I can see why some people would like Iota. If you like Quirkle, you might like this. However, it just wasn't fun having to sit there and play with the 2 of us trying to figure out, okay, well, it's got to be all the same, all different. Sure, if you keep playing for a long, long time, and I realize this because I've played through it solo just to play a little bit, you could figure it out and get there. And it's really not that much of a rule, but it's not, the rule is just not fun. You know, obviously it's one of those Mensa Select sort of games where you feel smart when you do it right, but I just didn't enjoy it. There wasn't enough game to it. Like, you're just laying out points and you got to calculate these massive amounts of points, and if you don't have a lot of space or a lot of time, it's not worth doing, honestly. And I just didn't like Iota for that reason. The other thing is, why this? Why this small? Like, it is Quirkle, right? You could have put it in a game box this size. I actually don't enjoy this because it barely fits inside of this tin. Look, the top is open and it's not coming out, right? That's the problem with it. It doesn't actually fit in the tin, so no reason for it to be this small. It could have been Hanabi card size. I'm not sure why, other than quirkiness, they went this route. You could put square cards and something else. I guess they were just trying to do this whole thing of great big game in an eeny weeny teeny box or something like that. So that's Iota for me. It's a 4, maybe a 5. I just didn't enjoy it. It wasn't fun. It felt like an activity more so, or a math class more so than an actual game. So if that's your sort of thing, if you enjoy those brain-busty math sort of games, then Iota's for you. Otherwise, steer clear of this one. So that's it for Bryan Drake here on the latest retro. That was third person and awkward. Till next time, make sure to follow us down here at The Latest Retro on Twitter. We will see you next time. Oh, by the way, roll tide, because we won the national championship. Sorry, everyone else. There's always this year. See ya.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.